What's up, you guys? Quinn here. Now, for whatever reason, ever since I was little, I've been obsessed with trying to make good habits for myself, basically just to become more productive and just improve on a personal level. Now, I've found it super interesting to learn about and just find out more information about what kinds of habits do different successful people share with each other. So I can incorporate those kinds of habits into my life in hopes of being more successful myself. And I've definitely tried my fair share of habits that are supposed to work for people who want to be successful. And you know what? Some of them just turn out to be very silly and a waste of time. But I have found others that do work very well and actually contribute to my productivity and success and overall well-being. And I truly believe in these habits as a way to work towards personal and professional success. And oddly enough, the habits that I think are most effective are the ones that don't cost any money and are quick to start. And an interesting study found that these habits that I have picked out are ones that all successful people do consistently, and they also say that these habits have changed them into the person they are today. So I'm going to go through a brief list of these habits that were found in this article and give you my take on them and how they've either worked or not worked in my life. Now, Thomas Corley spent 5 years gathering information and analyzing millionaires and their different habits. And with all of this information, he has made this list and found that 88% of rich people read at least 30 minutes a day. Now, the interesting part about this is they aren't just reading romance novels or the Harry Potter series. They're reading to learn new information, whether it be news articles online, seeing what people post on Reddit, or even just opening a book on investing for dummies. This way you're just getting different viewpoints and taking in as much information as possible on important topics in the world. Now, for myself, I find it overwhelming when I'm trying to learn new information because I either don't know where to start or I don't have enough prior knowledge to understand what's being presented to me. So for you guys who are in a similar boat and you just want to learn more about the world of business around you, I highly recommend signing up for the Morning Brew newsletter. This is my favorite source of all time for all things news, whether it be news about the stock market, something new happening in the tech industry, or even just important information about the vaccine rollout. It's a one-stop shop for all things news, and it's easy to understand and follow along. It's totally free, and once you sign up, every morning around 8 a.m., you'll get a little email in your inbox with all the information from relevant news that day. So if you just need to find 30 minutes of stuff to read, I would start there. Now, the second thing the study mentions is consistent exercise. 76% of all successful people exercise for at least 30 minutes a day. Now, being the fitness fan I am, I would argue that weight training is a more desirable form of working out than cardio, but hey, you do you and find what works best. Now, working out every day is a bit of a stretch, either just for your time, and also you want to make sure you're letting your body recover. So I would say that 4 to 5 days a week is really the sweet spot there. Now, as soon as I finish my morning workouts, I find that I have way more energy throughout the day. My stress levels go way down, and I find that I'm just mentally and physically more prepared for my next tasks all throughout the day. I also find that when you can apply consistency to one aspect of your life, it more easily flows into other parts of it. The kind of person that can wake up every morning and have the discipline to go to the gym usually also has the ability to eat healthy as much as possible, get enough sleep, read more every day, and track their spending every day. And of course, to smash the like button every day. So just one 30-minute tweak to your day by adding in a workout can really set the record for the rest of your life. Now, number 3 is what the study called dream setting, but I personally prefer to focus more on goal setting. The problem I have with dream setting is it's usually not specific enough to be attainable. So I think you should try to come up with a very detailed plan, just like I've talked in previous videos, on what you want to accomplish, when you want to accomplish them, and why it's important to you. Now, answering the why is arguably the most important step in this, and also the hardest, but it will really show you the root of why you're dedicating so much time to this goal, and it'll sort of bring forth the kinds of values you have and the aspirations you have about your life. And without knowing that why, it's a lot harder to stay motivated and continue pursuing those goals, especially when they get hard. Now, number 4 is pursuing your own goals. It's really important to make sure you're doing things that are going to make you happy, and you're not doing them to make other people happy or because you feel pressure from other people. I can definitely speak personally on this because I have felt pressured from other people to go into a certain career path, especially into university when I went into sport broadcasting, when it wasn't really what I wanted, but I did it because I thought it was the right thing to do, especially for my family and the people around me. Now, I still struggle with this on a regular basis because I'm the kind of person who's driven by making other people happy around me, and often I forget about my own wants and needs in the process. So I'll admit that this is definitely holding me back from being as successful as possible, but I am working on it, and that has become one of my goals, to actually start making goals that are for myself. Getting my real estate license and starting this YouTube channel were both things on my road to pursuing goals that were for me. So I'm a big believer in finding something that makes you tick, something that you look forward to every day, and honestly, just stick with it. Now, number 5 is one that I think I believe in more than any other on this list, which is getting at least 7 hours of sleep. Now, I'm a sleep fanatic and I always stress about how much sleep I'm getting, and I personally believe that 8 hours is better than 7, but I know it's not really easy for everyone to do that, so 7 is what all successful people do, but if you're a little crazy like me, 8's more the sweet spot. And like I said, I prioritize this over anything else because I know how important sleep is for keeping enough energy, keeping your mind clear, and just being healthy and living a long life. Now, studies do show that productivity really decreases fast after 4 hours of hard work. So for your maximum productivity, chunk your work in about 4-hour increments and then take a break between those to let your mind sort of revamp and clear. Overall, the number of hours you work doesn't always correlate to the amount of work you get done or the quality of it. So instead, place more of that importance back on your sleep, and I promise you won't regret it. Now, even I can't always get my 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, but I do make sure that I stay on the same sleep schedule for all or most of the week. This way, I'm consistent with making a habit of telling my brain when it's time to work and when it's time to relax and recharge. Now, connecting to the habit of sleep, another thing that successful people do is waking up early. I totally agree with this because if you're getting up 1 to 3 hours before most people start their work, this gives you uninterrupted time to either get work done, get your workout out of the way, or just be productive in some way before the craziness starts. I personally don't think it's necessary to get up at 4 a.m., but if you're getting up at 6 a.m., you're getting your workout out of the way, you're answering some emails before you get bombarded with calls and meetings throughout the day, you actually have way more time in your day to get work done. Now, sometimes waking up too early does impact other parts of your life negatively, especially socially, because you're having to go to bed so much earlier. So I always advise you to find what works best for you and your work schedule and make sure you're still getting those 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Now, although all of these habits I've talked about are extremely important for being successful, if you remember nothing else from this video, take this, that almost all successful people in the world have more than one source of income. Now, on average, most millionaires have about 7 sources of income. Now, that's a little much for people who either don't have a lot of money or are just starting out in life, because the saying is obviously true, you need money to make money. But my best advice for you guys who are watching my videos and trying to take away some important information is stick with your main full-time job, or if you have a couple part-time jobs, depending if you're in university or not. Make those your main focus, but also start investing your money as well. This way you can nurture about a handful of different income sources without spreading yourself too thin. And then once you get more comfortable with having different income sources and having more money in the bank, you can start playing around more with it and branching out to different areas. But at the beginning, this is definitely your best course of action. So hopefully these first millionaire habits that I've shared with you today resonate with you in some way, and hopefully give you some ideas on how you can start your road to success. Now, before you leave, don't forget to go hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so I can keep sharing as much advice as possible with you guys and helping you on your road to success, productivity, and hopefully a lot more cash. See you guys next week.